Hey guys, welcome back to another video today. I hope you guys are all having a great day. So you just built your first PC and obviously you want to hop on that RGB train and make your PC look so much better. So you hop on Amazon and begin looking through all your options. Let's see. No. And then you come across these. The GIM or GIM KB-23s, and unlike most of your other options, they're cheap at only $34. And so you didn't have to, I threw them in my PC, and we're gonna see if they're actually a better option than something like the Corsair QL120s. Let's check them out. Before we start though, big thanks to GIM or GIM, however you pronounce it, for sending out these fans. Although as you know by now, my thoughts on them will not be affected. The link will also be down in the description for these fans, so if you like them, definitely go check them out. Also guys, I'm just gonna refer to this company as GIM from now on, just so we're on the same page. And this is also a pack of 3 fans, just so I don't forget to say that later. But yeah, 3 fans come in this pack. That's what a pack of 3 fans is. So right out of the box, they kind of look like almost the cheapest fans in existence, although that does change when you put them in the PC. I think the plastic used for the fans is pretty much as cheap as you can go, but I mean, for the price, what do you expect? In the box, you also get an RGB sync cable, so you can control these fans with your motherboard software. You also get a remote, which is really nice and seems to be the preferred method for cheap fans. And honestly, I would use a remote more than a software you have to open up every single time. You also get a pretty cheap looking fan hub, but it does have connections for up to 10 fans, which is much more than you'll fit in your standard mid-tower case, but you could fill up the O11 Dynamic XL. You can also connect up to 2 LED strips with the fan hub, which is a really nice feature for the price. However, you should probably know these fans do not come with a standard 4-pin PWM connector, meaning you can't actually plug these fans individually into your motherboard. That is why there's a hub though. And finally, in the box, you get the screws and the instructions, which are pretty vague, so instead of making you read them, I'll show you how to install the fans myself. I mean, it's really not that hard, but it did take me quite a while, like 2 whole days, to figure it out for some reason. So please don't be me and take that long. Although it's a pain, the first thing you should probably do is screw in each screw, because to save money, the screw holes don't come threaded, which makes it pretty difficult to install them with minimal space. I mean, obviously after that, you screw them in where you need to, but the next part is what shouldn't have, but did confuse me. So I'm pretty sure all fan packs come with the RGB sync cable to plug into your motherboard and control the fans that way, and I thought that had to be connected, but it doesn't. So I took about 2 days just trying to plug that cable into my motherboard, and you might be asking, why was it so hard to plug in that cable? And it's because the problem was actually my motherboard's connector, because I plugged it in just fine to my uncle's motherboard. But after all that, I figured out you only need to plug in the SATA power, which is super easy. One thing that doesn't look so great though are the cables, and that's because they split into 2, so it's kind of hard to keep them together, and therefore the cable management looks super messy. Good thing they'll be hidden though. So once you finally figure out how to get the fans plugged in and installed, hopefully it doesn't take you as long as me, they actually look really good for the price. Now yes, I did say for the price, and that definitely doesn't mean they look bad. They just obviously don't compare to something like Corsair. But those fans are also like 4 times the price, so it's not really a competition either. So each fan has 16 individual RGB LEDs, which are situated on the exterior ring, and they do look pretty bright and spread super evenly through the fan blades. Personally, I think this looks really good, and it helps the fans to look more like they have LEDs in the center. However, you can clearly see, I guess, the hot spots of the LEDs, then the fan's rotation kind of bends them, so I don't know, you guys can decide if you like that or not. There's also a ton of different lighting effects, and I would say they're actually pretty good effects. The one thing I don't really like though is that with the remote, there's only 2 buttons to change the lighting effects. So to find the lighting effects you like, you have to click through all of them one by one, which is annoying, but at least if you miss the one you like, you can click back, instead of having to go through all of them again. I'm not sure how many lighting effects there actually are, but there seems to be quite a lot, like maybe 50 to 60. The colors are also super accurate. I would say the white might look slightly bluish depending on how you look at it, but other than that, I was really impressed with the colors. Also, one more just kind of nitpicky thing is that you can see all the individual LEDs from the side because they're not really diffused at all, but again, that's super nitpicky and not really an issue. The remote is also pretty basic, but is also super efficient. I personally like the remote a lot because it's much quicker than opening up a software and changing the lighting effects that way. With the remote, you get your basic functions like fan speed control, lighting brightness control, lighting effect control, and even some music modes, where the fans just kind of light up to the sound. A few more things about the remote though, it seems like there's actually really only 2 fan speeds, which is just on and off. So I'm not really sure if that's supposed to happen. I feel like there should be like at least 3, but it's not really a big issue because I just kind of leave the fans on 1 speed anyway. And the other thing is, I kind of already mentioned it, but it's the thing that there's only 2 buttons to change the lighting effects. So it is really annoying to have to go through every single one before you get to one you like. But like I said, at least you can go back in case you miss one. because that would not be fun. One thing that is arguably more important than RGB though is their performance, and I would say it's not bad at all, especially for the price. I should also probably say these fans are each 120 millimeters, in case you guys didn't get that already, but for specs, they're using a hydro bearing, which I would assume means hydraulic. However, they only get up to 1200 RPM, which really isn't that much under heavy load, with most fans going up or even past 2500 RPM. Each fan is rated at 4.2 watts, so in other words, don't upgrade your power supply just for these fans. They're also rated at a 20,000 hour lifespan, which means if you have your PC on for 8 hours a day, they'll last you about 2500 days, which is almost 7 years. So I would assume no problems there. And each fan also has anti-vibration pads just to make them a little bit more quiet, but in my opinion, these fans aren't that quiet at all. So right now I'm just going to play a clip of all the lighting effects and a sound test as well. If you don't want any part in this though and just want to skip to my thoughts and the outro, then just skip to this time right here, and that should bring you right to the outro. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that, unless you skipped it of course, but right now I'm kind of just going to end with like my final thoughts. So, would I recommend them? And I would actually say definitely. If you are just getting into the PC market and want some RGB, I would say there's definitely a really compelling option. I would even go as far as to say if you can afford like the $140 Corsair QL120s, maybe even still go with these and get better performance with like a better graphics card or CPU or another component that'll actually make a difference. So I would say unless you are serious about RGB and cooling performance, then I would recommend these. I personally didn't think they would actually be this good, but I'm definitely going to recommend them to everybody. So guys, that's pretty much much going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, a sub and a like would be massively appreciated, and it'll also show GIM that you really enjoyed their fans. If you guys still have some questions about the fans that weren't addressed in this video though, just leave them in the comment section down below, and I am guaranteed to respond to you. But guys, that'll be it for this one, and like always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.